My souls have never stepped foot outside this country. My soul dips her toes into the idea of absolute freedom. She wonders. My heart wanders, turned on imagination and wandered lust. My body is the only piece of me present. I'm gifted to live here, but I'm starving for more. There has to be more to life than the town that shaped me and the city that expands me more. All of me is still in search for home. Ethiopia birthed my soul, and Canada raised me. My tongue is tarnished with a language that should not be part of my identity, but it's the only language I know next to that of the eyes, which I'm practicing fluency because mouths lie. They smile in pain and say, I'm fine, but eyes are so powerful and so personal. Your body flusters and flinches when others try to see beyond what you say. Eyes are the only way to see a person naked with clothes on. Eyes are the window I've been dying to climb out of and live. I am dying to live. I'm a prisoner in my own body. I search for home in the laugh lines of my mother's face and the smoky gray hair of my father. I cannot call the motherland home. It burns like hot shahi or hulbat. I cannot call their motherland home. She pushed them out with war and rebellion. They walked over their classmates' bodies on their way to school. With rifles aimed at them, they walked to Djibouti. Bruised and bloody feet and burnt black skin, they walked an 11-day journey. When I ask my father about his past, he doesn't have to say anything for me to see the ache he carries. Many lost their lives during their escape, and at least once a week for 20 years, he walked from Ethiopia to Djibouti in his nightmares. Once a week for 20 years, he relived this. And my father still wonders which of his friends have made it to this side, and when his time comes, which ones he'll see on the other side. This stolen land became their refuge, and I cannot call this land my home. A country built on the pillage and torture of its indigenous people. Europeans raped their land, called them savages, and had the audacity to write themselves into history as heroes. They wanted to bleach the culture out of them. The last residential school was closed down in 1997. I've heard former classmates and teachers say that they're taking advantage of the system, that they need to get over their centuries of oppression, and not to mention their views on immigration, and they have the nerve to close borders and say, go back where you came from. Where is home? Where can we live that doesn't cripple us with the fear of being less than human? There has to be more than this. My greatest fear is not death. My greatest fear is to be lying on my deathbed and to be mourning the more. Daughter of the diaspora. I've adopted a foreign tongue and have ever since been forcing myself to find love for something so unrelated to me. something I've spilt blood on for hopes that I'd see my internal reflection in this language, but all I see are open wounds, English. I've been dissecting myself open with you and infecting myself with you because you're all I understand, and yet nothing my body can comprehend. I'm a walking contradiction, Canada. On this stolen land, my body is black. But where I'm from, that word has no meaning. But Canada, here it is all that gives me meaning, Canada. I've adopted your history, and by association, your oppression. I'm in a constant state of distance and confusion. My history in this country only traces back to my parents' immigration, and my Ethiopian roots were cut down and yanked out when my parents fled the country. But Canada, my growth here is stunted. Too much water and not enough sunlight. Too many bitter winter days and freezing cold stares. I keep warm by blanketing my feelings. Canada, I feel like I don't belong. Like I've spent my entire life assimilating English. I still introduce myself to people by mispronouncing my name. I feel slightly embarrassed when people pronounce it properly, because if it's not smooth on the Anglo tongue, then saying my name sounds more like go back where you came from. Where I came from. Dear Ethiopia, I'd like to imagine that you smell like freshly roasted bun, like hulbat marah boiling on the stove and that stench seeping into everyone's clothes. I'd like to imagine that the sun doesn't just kiss, but dances on everything we both touch. And I imagine never having to defrost ukhat or bidena, and that you sound like milawahid batira frying during the adhan for Fajr prayer. And I imagine wide-eyed, big foreheaded children playing football. I imagine all of the uncles chewing chats and all of the aunties steeping shahi, but then I remember why my parents came to Canada. Ethiopia, my indigenous Oromo blood looks familiar, splattered on your soil. Canada, my black body's blood looks familiar, splattered on your sidewalks. English, I don't know how to communicate with my only living grandmother. English, how do you say miskeen? English, I French kissed the colonizer. English, I'm so ashamed. Oh, Canada. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like. Thank you.